I know
So hard.
it's
It is.
horrible. Yeah, I know it's hard to it's a hard topic. When you said that we should talk about this, I had been on Twitter and there was a video that went viral from this. I guess he was a professor or a professor. I can't remember if they said it was an aide of a professor at this university or if he was a professor. But he wrote a book, kind of about this thing, and he was answering a question, and it's quite disturbing. I'm gonna play it
Yeah,
for
let's
you.
check it out.
You're not gonna like it.
Oh, great. Let's piss me off.
So much for that question. I use the term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile.
It just hurts
A lot of
less.
people, when they hear the term
to hear.
pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors. I've definitely heard the idea that you brought up, though, that the use of the term minor attracted person suggests that it's okay to be attracted to children. But using a term that communicates who someone is attracted to doesn't indicate anything about the morality of that attraction.
Oh my God. Okay,
Doesn't it
number one,
completely?
the definition of pedophile is not actually someone who has committed a crime of pedophilia.
Mhm.
It's actually just exactly what he's talking about,
Right.
or they are talking about. It's a person who is attracted to minors.
Yeah.
That is a pedophile.
Right.
He's trying to, or they are trying to change our perception of that.
Right. Because it's stigmatized. It
Yeah.
sounds terrible.
As it is.
Like, we don't want to call a murderer murder because they kill things. We need to call them, a person that likes to manipulate one's life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on.
They just want to be able to sleep at night and be sick Fs at the same time. It was kind of weird. I had found out that a friend of mine when I was a kid was minor attracted. I want to be nice. Just kidding. He was a pedo.
Mm-hmm.
And he said a term, and I hate it now. I can't stand it. It just ruins everything. Like, if I go out to a restaurant and I go, well, hey, how's your steak? And they go, oh, it's really tender. I go, oh, don't want that.
Nope.
Because that's the word that he used when I was going, what? What?
Mm-hmm.
What? Threw up a little bit in my mouth. We got to not be buddies anymore, And I will say this because it's not an excuse. But he wasn't treated well when he was a kid either.
Mm-hmm.
And it's somebody has to put a stop to it at some point so it doesn't continue on, at least on your your tree. You know.
Well, and some of these folks they'll get to a point where they may not have acted on their desires, but throughout their life they've positioned them to be closer and closer. And at what point do they give in?
A lot of these people do.
Yeah, it bothers me. And so this particular person, I wrote down their name, Allyn Walker, and they. I'm going to screw that one up the entire show. They wrote a book, and it's called A Long Dark Shadow, and it's really about trying to normalize this. I can't even.
I don't think I'm going to read that book.
I'm not going to read it either. Let's see. Yeah, he's an assistant. They are an assistant professor at Old Dominion University, and
that's a problem.
And that is a problem. And it sounds like they were removed. Before You Act. It's an advocacy group for people who are into children, and they're trying to support these people, help them with different, mental help. The problem is that they're also trying to get the rest of the community, the rest of the world, to cut these people some slack,
right?
And not stigmatize them or their behavior or their thoughts. Well, there are so many different areas in our world right now where, pedophilia is well known. talk about Catholic Church.
Right.
One of the biggest, I mean, I don't know, I might have some stats here about how much money has actually been allocated, but it's in the billions.
Right. And mind you, any church or religion you're going to find this, but Catholic Church is well known. And it feels like they are not slowing up the situations either.
Yeah. Well, really, this is these people, these pedophiles exist everywhere. It's not just in the Catholic Church. They just happen to have probably the most and the highest payout to the victims.
Right.
But we're talking Hollywood.
Yep.
We're talking in schools. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different places that have these folks that are kind of like under the radar. Because they haven't acted yet, but I say yet because there's still, with these folks, there's a high desire to be with children.
Right.
If you suspect that there's some abuse happening and there's immediate danger, definitely call 911. That's a great way to go. But you can also just go to the childwelfare.gov website, and there's a whole bunch of resources there if you need help.
Yeah, seek it.
Yep.
Heck, you can even reach out to us. We at least could even give you a number or two.
Yep. We'll put some information on our website.
Yep.
So, okay, well, we will leave it at that. I guess until we see you next time, take care.
And be safe. Thanks for listening to the shortened version of our show.
If you want to catch the full audio episode, you can find it here or wherever you find your podcasts. But if you want to see the full version in video format, you can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, and now on Spotify.